All right, so let's simplify some expressions. Now, when we have an expression, there's a few things that we need to do in order to simplify it. If we have any parentheses, we need to use the distribution property. So we're looking for what is directly in front of those parentheses. In this case, we see a minus sign. If we see just a minus sign with no number directly in front of the parentheses, there is an understood 1 there. So we actually have a -1 that we need to distribute. The 2x squared will remain the same. Okay? So in order to distribute, what we need to do is to multiply that -1 times each term within the parentheses. So we're multiplying -1 times 3y. -1 times 3 is -3, so -3y. And then we take that same -1 on the outside of the parentheses and multiply it by -4x squared. Okay, first and foremost, a negative times a negative is going to give us a positive, so we end up with a plus. 1 times 4 is 4, so it's positive 4x squared. Now, I will not multiply it by the 9 because the 9 here at the end is not within the parentheses, so it's going to stay plus 9. Now that we have distributed, there is another step that we need to do. And the last step to make sure everything is simplified is that we need to combine like terms. So, in order to do that, we need to find any terms that are like, which means they have to have the same variable, and those variables have to have the same exponent or power. So in this case, an x couldn't be combined with an x squared. Now we see we do have more than one x squared. We have a 2x squared here and a 4x squared here. Notice I included the plus sign so I know what operation we're using. So 2x squared plus 4x squared is 6x squared. So we've combined those like terms. Now let's have a look-see at what's left. We have a -3y and a +9. Now, unfortunately, those are not like terms. One of them has a variable, y, and the other one doesn't have a variable at all, the 9. So since they are not alike, we cannot combine them, and they will just remain the same. We will bring them down. -3y, and then bring down the +9. How do we know our answer is our final answer? We make sure that there are no parentheses, and we make sure that none of those terms can be combined. So we have an x squared term, a y term, and a constant, none of which can be combined. Therefore, this is our final answer. So to recap, when you're simplifying expressions, we need to distribute, if necessary, when there are parentheses, and then once we've done that, combine any terms that are alike. That will help us to simplify expressions. This is your first video of the school year. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll continue to post more as the year progresses. And have a great year in Algebra 1.